Now we're going to have a little poetry interlude. And lending his very unique poetic vision to our Broadway theme this evening, we have the one and only Bernard Bloch.
Okay. Can you hear me? You can hear me back there. Good. No? Somebody said no? Okay. I wrote 2 occasional poems for this reading, especially for this performance, and for Gemini Journey and Broadway musicals. And then I'm going to read a song written by Stephen Sondheim, which I consider a poem. Now, for my 2 works, you're all familiar with Schoenberg's Pierre Lumiere, which he wrote in 1909. He wrote this in Sprechgesang, or Sprechstimme, which is speak singing. So the performer sings and speaks, sings and speaks. This became a part of German cabaret tradition with Marlene Dietrich and many others, where they speak-sing their songs. And this continued with Knickerbocker Holiday, with Kurt Weill's Knickerbocker Holiday, where Walter Houston sang September Song, and then Paint Your Wagon, and culminated in Henry Higgins speak-singing throughout Lerner and Lowe's My Fair Lady. So I'm going to do this in Sprechgesang, speak singing. The first work is called Ballad of Gemini Journey, and it's written to the tune of Guys and Dolls, which you'll have to imagine. Ballad of Gemini Journey. What's playing at Cornelia? I'll tell you what's playing at Cornelia. A cellist who used to exclusively play Bach and Brahms, but becomes something of a Roma, that he sacrifices everything and moves all the way to Oklahoma. That's what's playing at Cornelia. What's in the Daily News? I'll tell you what's in the Daily News. Story about a lady violinist from Manhattan School Conservatory who started calling her violin a fiddle-fiddle-dee-dee. Was she confused? That's what's in the Daily News. What's happening all over? I'll tell you what's happening all over. A cellist rising at 4 a.m. orchestrating Broadway tunes by hand, who used to be something of a rover. That's what's happening all over. The Great White Way is the thing that is licked 'em. And it looks like cello guy and lady die are just another victim. Yes, sir. When you see cello guy reach for Frank Lesser sky, you can bet he's mesmerized by Guys and Dolls. When a classical guy strums a Porter refrain, chances are he's insane as a fiddler on the roof soaked in rain. When you meet a classical bloke whistling, the gentleman is a dope in sharps and flats that could flatten the Taj Mahal. Call it sad, call it funny, but it's better than even money that the bloke's under the spell of Glaucomora Valderall. When you see Cello Joe tip his hat in Fosse slow-mo, you can bet the sink there's a link to On Your Toe. When the troubadour struts the floor to Winter Garden roar of the Lion King, it's a cinch he's come under the thumb of ragtime. There is no cure. If you see Lady Di lately cutting a rug, 'cause she just met a mug lately out of his jug, and she's still coming up roses and Barbasol. Call it Cole, call it Mercer. You can Gershwin it forever, that the duos only doing it for you all, the duos only doing it for you all. Now, this next work is, I took all these great lyrics by Cole Porter, Irving Berlin, Ira Gershwin, Yip Harburg, and put them into a poem in a kind of surrealistic fashion. So all the lines are from their songs, but it becomes a kind of surrealistic mashup. It's called Strawberries, and Strawberries is from Porgy and Bess, the fruit, the strawberry lady and the crab man. Strawberries. Strawberries, oh, they's all fresh and fine. Strawberries fresh off the vine. And there's a boat that's leaving soon for Glockamora, because it's still run down to Donny Cove. And there's the devil moon crooning soon in Missitucky. Luck be a lady before the fiddler has fled, and while we still have the chance, let's face the music and dance. After one whole quart of brandy, like a daisy I'm awake, with no bromo seltzer handy, I don't even shake. I'm wild again, beguiled again. I'm talking about devil crabs, talking about the food I sell, talking about your pocketbook, talking about the minimum charge here at Cornelia Street. Sea crabs, devil crabs. Can't help loving the Surrey with the fringe on, top hat, white tie, and tails of Curly and Laurie, and poor Judd Fry is dead. A candle lights his head. He treated the rats like equals. His fingernails have never been so clean. Horizontally speaking, he's at his very best. And the stories of how I lost my bloomers, rumors, said she. He better look a lot like me, said he. I'll give myself an imitation of a crawfish, said she. I'm talking about devil crabs, talking about the food I sell. Sea crabs, devil crabs. And finally, this is a song by Stephen Sondheim. He wrote it in 1964 for a television program. It never was produced on Broadway or off-Broadway. It's called Evening Primrose. Tony Perkins was in it, and Charmaine Carr. And she sings this song. It's an allegorical story about people trapped in a department store on 14th Street under a curse, and the woman, Charmaine plays, sings a song called I Remember. She tries to remember how the earth and the world was before she was trapped in the department store. I remember sky. It was blue as ink, or at least I think I remember sky. I remember snow, soft as feathers, sharp as thumbtacks, coming down like lint, and it made you squint when the wind blew. And ice like vinyl on the streets, cold as silver, white as sheets, rain like strings, and changing things like leaves. I remember leaves, green as spearmint, crisp as paper. I remember trees, bare as coat racks, spread like broken umbrellas, and parks and bridges, ponds and zoos, ruddy faces, muddy shoes, light and noise and bees and boys and days. I remember days, or at least I try. But as years go by, they're sort of haze, and the bluest ink isn't really sky. And at times I think I would gladly die for a day of sky. Thank you.